Hi everyone, welcome to Confidently Be You. My name is Jennifer Shlomovich, and today I wanted to talk about the importance of being intentional. So here we are in the middle of January 2022. Time is flying by. And like many of us, I have been spending a lot of time just evaluating my life this past year and what I've done, what I've accomplished, what things I would have liked to have done differently, all that good stuff. And one of the things that I've noticed that I've really gotten better with, that's really helped me eliminate a lot of the stress in my life, is being more intentional. By being more intentional about how I spend my time, who I spend my time with, what things I spend my money on, all those different things have really helped me feel much more calm in my life. I have to say that this is, I think, the most calm and grounded I have ever felt. It's been an ongoing work in progress over the years. And to finally be in a place where I really feel this shift, looking back at what's caused that has just been being more intentional with all of these different things. When we are not intentional with how we spend our time and how we spend our money, it leaves an opening for chaos because you're being pulled in way too many directions by other people wanting your time for different things. And it's very easy to lose sight in how you're spending time on things in your life that are important to you. So if you never have enough time to do the things that you want to do for yourself in your life, then it's really important to take a step back and ask yourself, where do I need to be more intentional with how I'm spending my time? Another area I used to struggle with is how I spend my money with purchases. I love crafting. I love painting. I love doing plastic canvas and needlepoint, and dabbling a little bit in crocheting. And I used to just buy up art supplies. I'd go to Michael's and be like, oh, this looks cool. I want to get this for a project. And the next thing you know, my bedroom is looking like an art supply store because I'm buying all these things that excited me in the moment for a project to do one day. And this past summer, I got rid of a whole bunch of my craft supplies that I meant to do stuff with that I didn't do anything with. I kept some of it, paints, stencils, a lot of my drawing stuff, and then I have some needlepoint stuff that I kept. But I was really intentional about what I held on to and took a moment to visualize, do I see myself using this sometime in the near future? And so I really focused on those things that really brought value to my life, and the things that were stressing me out because I was holding on to them, I decided those were the things that I needed to let go of. And it was a relief. So yeah, that's another indicator of where you might need to be intentional in your life. If you feel like you have things that you bought and they're not really giving you value anymore, maybe they did in the moment, maybe you needed them for something, but now it's just taking up space, both physically as well as mentally, because you have the stuff and thinking about the stuff and being annoyed about the stuff, that can be really draining on us and add to that like background anxiety and frustration that we have. Another way I have become more intentional in my life this past year has been with friendships. Friendships evolve over time. People either evolve with you or away from you. And of course, it can be painful when somebody you're close with is no longer close with you. And the way I look at these things is that there's a reason for every season. So we have friends that come in our lives, we come in and out of people's lives, and there's a reason for those things. And then we evolve, and we can either evolve with people or away from people for whatever reason. And so I've become more intentional about friendships in a couple of different ways. So one way has just been like certain friends that I found myself reaching out to more. Like they used to reach out to me, but for whatever reason, it's been happening less and less. And so I used to still reach out. And not that I don't ever plan to reach out to them again, but just doing it less. Like I took a step back because I realized, you know what, I'm putting in more effort, and that was being draining for me. And so what I did, one of the things that I do in this situation is something that I started implementing myself a few years ago, is just reassigning people into a different category of friendship. So maybe somebody who I used to be close with and I had certain expectations on, with things changing and evolving and us growing apart, I have now shifted them to a different category of friendship where they're more of a casual, once in a while friend. And by re-establishing those expectations and being more intentional about how I look at the situation, it has really helped me not feel stressed out and feel less bad about those particular situations. And then the other way that I have become more intentional with friendships is just also looking at how friendships make me feel. I guess in both ways, it's how am I feeling in this relationship? Is it being one-sided in that I'm the one reaching out? Is it being one-sided in that I'm constantly giving my energy? Is this a friend who's reaching out to me only when they're having problems and they need me to help them feel better? And then there's just an imbalance there, if that makes sense. So I guess what I'm trying to say in all my rambling here about being intentional with friendships and relationships, it's very important to ask yourself, how does this relationship make me feel? And reviewing all your different relationships with that question. And if you feel something stressfully nagging at you, it's important to really check in with that. Why are you feeling that way? And then if you're thinking about, as you're assessing the different friendships and relationships, and people are energizing you, or you're excited about spending time with that person, your feelings are telling you something there. So it's important to ask yourself, who do you feel excited about spending time with? Who do you dread spending time with? And why are you feeling that way? So these are all very important things to assess with friendships and relationships, is really checking in with your feelings and being intentional about the expectations to have on that person, what to expect from them, and what do you want them to expect from you as well? Where do you need to put certain boundaries in place, or do you need to put boundaries in place? What needs to happen for you to feel balanced? And balance is the key here. And that's the real important result of being more intentional. Especially this past year, I have felt a lot more balanced with things because I have been more intentional. So the same thing goes with money. Also, I touched on that a little bit as I was talking about purchasing craft supplies. That's helped me reduce clutter And also just reduce spending and ask myself, if I purchase this, how will it bring value into my life? If I buy this, how often will I use it? And when I start asking myself these questions before purchasing certain things, it's really helped me save money. Also, grocery shopping, being really intentional about what things do I want to bring into the house? How much snack food do I want to have? Because I have zero self-control when it comes to certain snacks. So I just try my best not to bring them in the house, or when I do bring it in the house for like an occasional treat I like to enjoy, it's being intentional on how much of it I bring and how I want to restore that balance. And the last piece that I want to bring up about being intentional, which has been a really big accomplishment for me, especially this past year, has been being more intentional with my time. Finding time to do the different things that I want to do. Spending time with my family. Obviously, I have to spend time with work, and then the time that I have after work, then I have to divvy that up with my business, time with my family, time with my friends, time with myself to either meditate or do an arts and crafts project or do some reading, which is something I definitely want to do a lot more of, because I've really slacked on reading because I've just been trying to keep up with everything else. But it like I said before, it's been a work in progress, and it's always going to be an ongoing work in progress, I think, for anybody. As we grow and evolve and either want to do more of something or less of something, it's being intentional and assessing what you want to do with your time, how you want to spend it, who you want to spend it with, and just all of your resources, whether it's time, money, your energy. All of those things are very, very important in being intentional with. So before I wrap up, I just wanted to share this journaling question with you. How would being more intentional restore balance in your life? And to help you journal more about that, think about some areas that are really bringing you a lot of stress, that are creating a lot of anxiety for you, whatever they might be. And then once you write about that, ask yourself, how can I be more intentional? What choices can I make that can help me take control of the situation, that can help me, feel more empowered about this? Because that's the important piece with this being more intentional about things, is it allows us to take our power back, especially if we're feeling really stressed out and pulled in a lot of directions and feeling like we are powerless. So it's a really important exercise that can really help guide your actions and help you redefine your time and how you spend your resources, whatever those resources might be. And so, taking a step back and asking yourself how you can be more intentional, and if you're not sure, just looking at some areas in your life that you're feeling really stressed out about, and that can help guide you and help you pinpoint some action steps that you can take to help restore that balance. And if you would like more support with that, you can schedule a complimentary clarity call over on my website at www.innerclaritywithjms.com, and I will also leave the link down in the notes below. All right, well, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye for now.